May, how you doing? Yes, a top 10 video back to back. I'll not be doing this every single day though, but since I did my top 10 favorite Marvel characters yesterday, here are my top 10 favorite DC characters. And before we go on, here's a little fun fact. I love DC more than Marvel, and the reason for that is because I was raised into DC. I like Marvel, and my parents do as well, but I didn't start watching Marvel and liking until I was like 9 or 8. So I was raised with GD. I was raised with DC. I was raised into it. So that's why I love it more than Marvel, and I always will. Anyways, let's get into the top 10 list. Number 10 is Firefly. Ever since I played Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham for the first time, I saw this character and instantly fell in love. I love the idea of it. I love the idea of being able to fly around and just shoot fire, and knowing that he's going to be in the new Batgirl movie makes me extremely hyped. And I just love the character, period. I love everything about him. But there are characters that are way better than him. Speaking of that, let's get on to number 9. Number 9 is Slade Deathstroke. I love him. I remember I used to have a Lego minifigure of him, but then my dumbass gave him away. So for my birthday, I'm going to ask for a set with him again, so I can really have him. But anyways, the character. One of the best DC characters, obviously. He's on the top 10. But I love him more than Deadpool. I'm sorry, but I love how he's like an assassin, but so strong. The look, the design of him, the power, the strength, the personality, everything. He's such a cool character. I haven't seen the Teen Titans Go movie, but even in that, he looks fucking badass. Wanna know why? 'Cause he's Deathstroke. And number 8, my favorite number, is a character that was actually my favorite supervillain for a week. So for a week, he was actually my number 1 favorite DC character. But he was very quickly replaced. It's Lex Luthor. I love Lex. I love extreme power government and money villains. I love villains where they have extreme power with government and money. And Lex is just the perfect idea of that. He's just perfect in the DC universe. And he's just an amazing arch enemy to have. He's a very unique one as well. You have an invincible man, then you have just some rich government guy, but yet he's so powerful at the same time. And I freaking love him for that. I used to be obsessed with Lex Luthor. But not as obsessed as number 1, which don't skip. Clock King, number 7. Why do I love such a stupid, dumb character? It's because I love dumb characters. I love Clock King. I loved him in The Brave and the Bold. I don't know why. He always got my attention. He always stood out to me. And he's always been such a unique character to me. I know I use that word a lot, but this time I actually mean it. Same with Lex. He's such a unique character. He's literally a unique character. And I love him for that. I love his design. All his designs. The only one I don't like is in the old Batman movie where he had a top hat and all that. But mine is that design. Every other design I fucking loved. My favorite design is the one that is in this picture. I love this old design. But man, I love how dumb he is. Do I even explain why I love Gentleman Ghost so much? I probably do. I love black and white. I love old themed characters. I love the paranormal. And Gentleman Ghost is all of it in one. And I love it. I've always loved him. Always. I even have a figure of him, and I'm so happy to have that. Even though almost everyone has it, I always feel so lucky to have it. But, fuck man, I love Gentleman. But he has been beaten, that's the reason he's at number 6. But, if it weren't for these other characters, he would have been at number 2, or number 3. I love Gentleman so damn much. In the top 5, to start off the top 5, we have Black Manta, the arch nemesis of Aquaman, which is honestly one of the best DC characters, but definitely not top 5 worthy. I mean, top 10 worthy. But Black Manta, he's not just top 10, but top 5 worthy. I love Manta. If you couldn't tell with my top 10 favorite minifigures, when he was number 1, I went on how much I love him. I love Manta, but again, there are characters who beat him. But if it weren't for these characters, he'd be right behind Gentleman. But, man, he's such a badass. I fucking love him. I'm excited for the new Aquaman movie. I don't know if it's official, but I just saw a picture of his new suit, and it's like the classic one with the silver helmet. Oh, and it looks amazing. Man, I love Manta. I'm so excited for the new Aquaman movie. But yeah, Black Manta starts off the top 5. Number 4 is the man himself, Harvey Dent, Two-Face. The man that is obsessed with luck, and one reason why I love him so much. I love the idea of being obsessed with luck and like having a coin to always tell you what to do, basically. I love the idea of that so much, and I love the idea of like literal, and I mean literal split personality. Like half normal, half just fucked. And I love the idea, and I love Harvey as a character. I love Two-Face so much. I was going to put him at number 3, but while rethinking the list, there was a character who beat him to number 3. He's not top 2, but he was nearly top 3. Now, who's the character who beat him to top 3? Let's find out. But before we do, once again, Two-Face is just a badass. Amazing. The person who beat Two-Face, number 3, is my boy Killer Moth. I love him. I know I said for like all of them. Again, I'm bad at explaining things, but Killer Moth is like, he's so good. He's so fucking good. He's so weird, yet so good, yet so badass. Like, look at this design. It's so fucking good. I love like mechanical wings that help you fly. That's why I love Vulture so much in the Marvel Universe. But in the DC Universe, we have Killer Moth, and it's just amazing. But man, I love Moth. Like, the way he actually acts like a real moth is just amazing. And like, I love the character. I love every single damn thing about him. He's so fucking good. If you don't like Killer Moth, I'm not gonna judge your opinion, but I will have one question. How? Number 2 is the best superhero ever. My favorite superhero, Bruce Wayne, Batman. I am so excited for this movie. That's the reason why I chose it, and I've always loved Batman. Again, I was raised into Stop saying GD. I was raised into DC, and like, Batman was the first ever superhero I ever knew about, and like, that's the reason why he's my favorite. Well, that's one reason, but another reason, like, he's a fucking badass. He's like, he has a rule of not to kill. All of his enemies are just great. He basically kicked off the DC universe. There are so many reasons why I love why I love Batman. But he's not number 1. My number 1 favorite DC character is my favorite supervillain of all time. And I mean of all time. Beats Mysterio. Beats every single supervillain ever made. Now, who is it? Let's find out. Number 1 is Scarecrow. Dr. Crane. Best supervillain, best DC character, best supervillain ever made. In the history of this universe, of this world. Best supervillain ever made, and will always be that. I love the idea of having a gas that makes people fear, makes the worst fears come to life. That I took so much inspiration from him and made a character. I love the idea of messing with people with their fear. I love his design. This is my favorite Scarecrow, the Batman Begins Scarecrow. I love the Scarecrow so much. I love all Scarecrows, but this is my favorite Scarecrow. I love the idea of just fucking with people with their fear. I love it. When Scarecrow was created, I don't think there was another character who did that. I don't think there is any character that is even close to beating Scarecrow in his badassery, villainous, probably in villainous, yeah. But to me, badassery, villainous, design, all of his designs have all been amazing. His personal, every fucking thing about him, I love. I always have. I love Scarecrow. I could go on for ages why I love Scarecrow. But he will forever be my favorite DC character and favorite supervillain. Except that one time when Lex Luthor overthrown him. But then was instantly replaced. Nothing will ever beat Scarecrow. Okay, hope you enjoyed. Okay, bye.